What's up? Yo?
Howdy. Am I
Black Label.
lagging? I just want to know.
Yeah, a little bit.
Am I lagging? It always happens in the beginning, bro. I have no idea.
Yeah, just a tad bit, but it's not bad. Your audio's fine. Everybody can hear you. You're good.
It's always like right at the jump, right? It's always terrible and then like evens itself out like an idiot internet.
Silly.
But yeah, so this is a mixture of Black Label and TY's TV Corner. And today we're actually presented to you by Philadelphia's own BONKS friggin' bar. That's one of Jack's favorite bars. He goes there all the time and hosts trivia. So we're presented by BONKS Bar. They have all the delicious seafood, beer, wine, wings. Look at these wings. Look at these wings, man. Ooh, look at those wings, bruh. Yummy, yummy. And look at that. That's a nice little establishment.
Yeah, beautiful scenery. That beautiful scenery.
Beautiful scenery. So we're presented by BONKS Bar. If you're ever in the Philadelphia area, I've included the menu at the bottom of the description. And please, it's a great place. They're going to be sponsoring several of our shows going forward. So give them your service if you're in the Philly area.
That's right. Go get your
welcome, Justice.
What up, yo?
Yeah, I think I just saw you.
Did you?
I think I just saw you.
Well, I'm one of those people that everybody say, yo, you look just like my cousin, or you look just like this one guy. Like, yo, your swag is on point. Are you Big Drip? I'm one of those people, right? Everybody thinks they know me. Everybody thinks I'm their cousin or like their grandma's ex-boyfriend or something, you know?
Okay, yeah. So we were supposed, and this is Black Label technically, right? This is T-By's TV Corner, but it's also Black Label kind of mixture. So we could say how we feel. There might be some swearing. There might be some, a little bit language, but that's all right. So we were supposed to have a guest tonight, but he didn't fucking show up. He didn't fucking show up. So he didn't fucking show up. So I guess that's like the rap. Yeah, that's like the rap life. I guess you just don't show up to things.
Yeah, man. You gotta be cool, Doug. That's what it is, really. It really boils down to that. You gotta look cool as possible. Man, I don't give a fuck about some bullshit podcast. I ain't showing up to that shit.
Yeah. So it was just really awkward because me and Justice had to like figure out our shit before like 30 minutes before the show. And it came out all right. It came out all right, but we kind of bombed. So if you wanna see some hilarious fucking podcasting, I'd check that out.
And not hilarious in like we did a good job way, hilarious in a like look at these fucking dumbasses kind of way. So if you want to make fun of us, here's your chance.
There's your chance. Not that you don't make fun of us on the reg, but
you probably do. I will.
Probably. So like I said, presented by BONKS Bar. Also, guys, I'm just doing my due diligence here. This is Logan's leg. If you could help and look at that. That's terrible. That is terrible.
It really is.
I just want to remind you of what it looks like. That's my dog's leg. If you could donate, the link is in the description. We are almost to our goal. Shout out to Caden. Shout out to Gavin. Guys pushing that link, getting people to donate. We're really getting close. This week is going to be the surgery. However, it doesn't end with surgery. So I'll leave the link up for a while. And if you guys can keep pushing it, keep doing what you're doing. I'll keep doing what I'm doing. Justice will keep doing what he's doing. And Logan will be okay. He's on a lot of...
Why is that, Lift? Dude, I don't know how to pronounce your name. In the comments, he said, don't judge. What, you got bars? Do you got bars? Let me find out you got bars.
He's a rapper. Yeah, he did the SnyderCut thing. This video?
That's him?
No, this video is him. Ready? We'll play it because we're still promoting it. But shout out to Ill Life. He let me use his song.
There was a time above, a time before. There were perfect things, diamond absolutes. Things fall. Things on earth. And the falls. fallen.
Release the Snyder Cut. Release the Snyder Cut. Release the Snyder Cut. Release the Snyder Cut. Release the Snyder Cut.
I didn't know that was you.
Now, obviously, but obviously, it's not necessarily a good portion of the song to like promote him. It's just him saying "release a Snyder Cut." That was the portion that worked for my video on that. But I listened to his whole song. I'll send it to you after. He does a really good job. He includes everything that he needs to include about the people that helped and Joss Whedon, and there, it's a good song. Really proud of him for what he came up with there. So if the word is bars, he's got them.
I don't know if you know this song, but your opener and your beat reminds me of Psychopath by Slaughterhouse. I don't know if you know that song. It's on Shady's X15 album. I don't know if you guys remember that one, but it's a good song. It reminds me of that. A lot of that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Let me know in the comments because it reminds me of a lot.
And he does the GoFundMe's at $830 right now. Caden. Also, and for Ill Life. So he actually sent me a clip today. He's starting his own show. I haven't got. We've obviously been doing our podcast and then this, so I haven't got to listen to it yet. But I'm excited to see how he does, because he's already used to like the microphone life, so he'll probably be a natural when it comes to speaking on.
That's right.
On the air.
There's nothing but the best for you.
Wish nothing but the best for you, and hopefully we can collab as well. So I was on Vodka Stream last night. I got the invite to Vodka Stream last night, and we ended up talking about Sean O'Connell a little bit, and we talked about it a little bit in the podcast today. We talked about it, and that'll air tomorrow at 5:30 tonight for the audio after we're done here. But I kind of want to continue it somewhere where I could be no holds barred. Okay. And I know that what you just said to me, the thing that you just said to me before this about Ray, I know that. I know that. Oh, and Justice is gonna smoke. So, like I said, this is a rated R late night podcast stream. Yeah. So, don't take offense to anything.
Smoking's for losers, by the way. Don't fucking smoke.
Yeah.
Smoking fucking whack.
Look at him lighting his cigarette
with a candle.
Look at him lighting his cigarette with a fucking candle, bro. What's wrong with you?
Don't judge me.
It's gonna taste like vanilla.
Wax. No, that's Ocean Breeze. It's gonna taste good.
Oh yeah, that's a good candle.
It is. Look at us.
But yeah, so I was saying, like,
grandma's talking about good candles. Fucking losers.
So like I was saying, I actually reached out to Caden today because the way they explained what happened with Ray and Sean, I didn't really understand how it happened when they explained it to me last night. So I reached out to Caden because Caden knows everything. Honestly, Caden's up to date with everything. He's up to date with almost everything.
Really
so I asked exactly how it happened. So apparently Sean was asked by someone that if he included any other cast members in his book, including Zach. And so Zach, and did he include anyone else? And he said yes. I had a call with Ray Fisher, and he didn't want to do the book, or didn't want to do it for some reason. And he left it at that. And then Ray quote tweeted it and said, "Hey bro, you need to delete this." In context, he was pretty much saying, "You're hurting my reputation. Like, you need to delete this because you're misquoting me." Sean ended up retracting his statement and saying, "Oh wait, this was for when I asked him to do a video with Cinema Blend, not the book." So he did say, so apparently, I'm not sure where it's going, but apparently he did say, "Nah, I don't want to do it." but it wasn't for the book. It was for Cinema Blend, a video. So pretty much basically Sean like backed out of it and was like, sorry, I apologize. Sean's a good guy. He really is. He doesn't mean harm, but he's getting caught up in a lot of bullshit right now.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of it. I really don't like that these people are like harassing this man. And Ray Fisher is officially on my shit list. I'm really sick of this dude. He's really
hot take.
Really on my nerves. He's really getting on my nerves. It's every other tweet is him bitching and complaining about something. I'm sick of it. And now he's coming out to Sean, a genuinely nice guy that I can say because we've had 2 separate 2-hour conversations with this man, so I can say with pretty good like knowledge that this is a good man and he doesn't have any ill intentions. And you still have the audacity to like try to say he's manipulating or being some kind of way. I'm good.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off with the Joker, but I thought you were gonna go on a good rant, so I was like, all right. Yeah.
I was. You threw me off.
Yeah. Those ones do throw people off. Like I don't know why they allow it. But listen, I don't think now. Here's the thing, because I have to be on Ray Fisher's side on this, simply not because I'm like, oh my God, I got to be politically correct. I'm saying Sean should have looked his facts up or did his sourcing on himself, because he might have just been like, oh, it was about me, so I don't have to source it myself, right? Because I remember it. But then it turns out he didn't remember, that he confused the two and he made himself look like an idiot. And I'm not saying he looked like an idiot. I'm just kind of like using that phrase, like probably wrong, but he didn't look like a journalist at that point. He looked like a Twitter warrior, right? Because Sean is all about sources and all that stuff. Like, you figure he wouldn't make a simple mistake like that. So I'm not sure where to think about it. Again, I think Ray's making a little bit of a big deal about the whole thing. Like, you don't have to be like, hey, take that down. You're making my reputation look bad. Dude, come on. He just said he didn't want to do the show. That's it.
Just to clarify, this is not why Ray is on my shit list. That's not it at all. That has nothing to do with it. And everything that has to do with Ray being on my shit list is every time I see this man make a tweet, he just never has anything good to say. I've never once seen him like appreciate his position or have anything good to say whatsoever. The last thing I seen him tweet was him once again just bitching and complaining because people want Cyborg to say booyah, his catchphrase, and he's trying to he has this tendency to kind of like flip things around and try to play victim. Now, if you guys been watching us for a while, when this whole Ray Fisher thing first came out with Joss Whedon and all of that, I did not take his side immediately. I haven't been able to take people's sides with things like this because everybody and their mother wants to be a victim, and everybody and their mother, their life has been so incredibly difficult that they can't even fathom how they could possibly keep going on when it's just something as simple as somebody was kind of mean to you. So I didn't jump on his side right away. More things came out. I was like, all right, you got that. My bad. And I took it as it is. All right, you got that. Turns out Joss Whedon is a piece of shit. My bad. I wasn't aware of it. But he kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And he's still, to this day, crying about tiny, minor, minuscule details, such as people wanting Cyborg to say booyah. The thing, and I'm pretty sure most of us want to hear that because we grew up on Teen Titans and he says it like every other word in that show.
Yeah, but let's be clear. It's not, it's kind of a weird backwards scenario, right? Like, I'm more on Ray Fisher's side than you are. And you would think it would be backwards, right? That I would be kind of where you're at and you'd be where I'm at. But I don't think the booyah, like, the booyah thing does not fit Zack Snyder's tone. It doesn't. Let's be real. It doesn't. It doesn't have any part in Zack Snyder's league. In Joss Whedon's version, I can see why Joss was like, I need you to say this, because they were trying to do something more Marvel-y, right? And Ray Fisher put up a fight about it, ended up saying it, but with no emotion. If you go back and find that clip, right, of him saying booyah, it was like dead, stone cold, booyah. Like, he didn't want to say booyah. Like, and Cyborg saying booyah, yeah, it's his catchphrase, but it's not like comic book catchphrase. It's an animated series catchphrase. And you don't see like Henry Cavill Superman saying, this looks like a job for, and that's the tweet that he sent out is, you don't see those characters saying this in Zack Snyder's world.
So,
and then the Hera thing with
Wonder Woman.
With Wonder Woman.
So, first of all, and that was the exact point I was trying to make. Like, I grew up on Teen Titans, and a lot of us did, and that's how I know Cyborg. I don't know Cyborg from the comic books. I know Cyborg from that cartoon I watched back in the day, and I still very much have a love for animation. I like DC's animated world much more than I like the live action world. I don't think you're absolutely right. Like that phrase does not fit in Zack Snyder's world. But if you ask me, a lot of these heroes don't fit in Zack Snyder's world either. I don't think Superman fits in that kind of world, and I don't think Cyborg fits in that kind of world either. Because that's the character I know Cyborg as. That character he was in Teen Titans. A lighthearted hero, not some serious dark tones, everything's miserable, look at the rain and the dark clouds over my life kind of guy. You know what I mean? I honestly don't think a lot of those heroes even fit in Zack's side as well.
Right, but Cyborg in Zack's version is troubled. He's questioning his existence. And this is whether or not you think that that's an accurate representation of Cyborg the character is not what I'm talking about, right? Because I know you just don't like that version, right? You don't think that that's the accurate version. So the argument, I just
don't like it.
Yeah, the argument ends for you there because you just don't even think that should be there in the first place. You think the tone's off anyway. So for me, if you're this movie's like Cyborg is this way in this movie for me, right? I'm not mad that Cyborg's this way. So mine goes a little further with the whole booyah thing. Like Cyborg in this world is, on the edge of like what seems to be like mental illness and he's questioning things and his existence and he's troubled, very much troubled and trying to find what his purpose in life is. So for him to turn around and say booyah, it just like contradicts his whole arc.
Which is a very good point that I did not even take into consideration. This is Cyborg, our introduction to Cyborg, so that's fair because I've seen iterations of him just like that. Cyborg's not very much of a fan of being half robot. He was in fact very troubled by it. It very much bothered him, and like you said, he's trying to find his place. He didn't even consider himself a hero for quite some time. So that's fair. That's a fair point. In this first movie, no, he shouldn't be that in that tone. But as time goes on and he becomes a League member and he looks at himself as a hero, then I do expect him to lighten up a bit and be more friendly, if you will, I guess, for lack of a better word.
Yeah. My internet, just so you know, if I go out, my TVs are buffering and I've never seen my TVs buffer before. So if my internet cuts, just know I'll be back in a second because I've never seen this happen. All my TVs are buffering at the same time. So I'm not sure if like the internet's trying to, usually my router, if it has like an update, it'll do it at 11:30 for some reason. And I didn't even realize it's 11:30. Well, it'll do it at like 11:30 or midnight because it thinks that you're asleep. It's weird, but they don't know that I'm a misfit. Yeah, I'm a misfit. I'm not asleep.
I want to be a dentist.
But yeah, and the Ray Fisher thing is interesting. I feel bad for the guy in ways. In other ways, I wish he wouldn't say things some days. The Walter Hamada thing. I wish that never happened the way it did because I really didn't mind Ray Fisher as Cyborg, and I just don't think that going forward that if it ends up to DC, if it's up to DC Films, I don't think I don't think that he'll be back. So, oh yeah, I came up with. Wait, I watched your top 10 things you want in the MCU, and X-Men versus Avengers is an amazing idea. You gotta know that on Twitter there would be Team X-Men, yeah, kind of like Team Cap and Team Iron Man.
Oh yeah, hell
And
yeah, yeah, and that'd be so
yeah,
cool to see. I would love it.
that would be
Love it.
that would be dope. And that's actually what we're
Who
gonna
you
be
guys
talking about
thinking?
next is WandaVision. What?
We got.
I
want to
take
know,
Team
who you guys
Avengers.
thinking? Yeah,
Team
see,
Avengers for me.
That's a hard question because I have more like on the Avengers side, more heroes are on my top 10 list, but Wolvie and Storm are so incredibly high. Oh, and also Magneto are so incredibly high on that list that I have to kind of consider going Team X-Men. You know what I'm saying? Just because I love those three specific heroes so much. So that's a hard choice for me. That's a hard choice.
Hey,
I think I'm gonna go
and
Team
that's
X-Men.
Team X. You're always opposite of me, idiot.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Team X-Men. I think I'm gonna.
And we're also doing what was the other? Oh, we're gonna try to start something. Team Kong and Team Godzilla. So he's Team Godzilla. Yeah. This idiot's Team Godzilla, and I am Team Kong. So let's get that trending for our live show for Showcase Cinemas. We're gonna be promoting that hashtag on which team you're on. So let me know in the comments which team you're on, so we can get a feel for who's the cooler one.
I would love to hear it.
I'm the cooler one.
Team Godzilla, let's go, Ridley.
Team Kong, baby.
Ridley took my side.
That's
right. But again, I keep saying it, but again, I know for a fact this is going to be one of those movies where there is no actual victor. I can say it with confidence.
Yeah, but I want to have fun with it. And pretend that there is two sides. But no one else wants to comment, so it's just you winning right now.
That's right.
Also, so WandaVision, huh? Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. Really flipping
my
TV
Lord.
on his head at this point, honestly.
Do you think?
Honestly. What do I think?
Do you think that is Evan Peters? And I know we go into it in the podcast, which will air later, but do you think that this is going to get messy? Do you think it's going to get messy with how they're pulling this off at all?
Messy how? More specific. What do you mean by messy?
That's you. That doesn't count.
That's right. That's another one for the books, baby.
Do you think it's going to get messy with how they're bringing the X-Men in? So do you think it's going to get a little bit... You already think WandaVision's meta. If they start pulling and bringing X-Men in, do you think it's going to get a little messy? Do you think they're going to maybe drop the ball a little bit?
Yep. And I have said this before. Jeez Louise, I can't speak. That when you do an extended universe like this, more specifically in comic books, you can't get to where Marvel is right now without things getting messy. There's just way too much. Now they're introducing Celestials, and they already introduced Power Stones, and now they're jumping into multiverse. It's inevitable. It is going to get messy. The deeper you get into this, the deeper Kevin and Disney gets into this Marvel universe, the messier things are going to get. It's going to end up just like the comic books. It basically already is. We've already seen reboots and multiverse and all kinds of different things. It's inevitable. It's going to get messy, and there's no mop big enough to clean that up.
Okay. And I can't remember what you rated this episode. Was it 8.2? 8?
Nope. Gave it a clean, solid 8.
Okay. I give it 8.6. I thought that reveal at the end was tremendous.
It's big.
So we were doing the Nicotina live stream, and all of a sudden you just hear every single person that's doing the stream like, oh, like screaming. And I was just like, yeah, that was pretty dope. Because like Evan Peters is quite the character, like already. Like the Fox Quicksilver I thought was done a lot better than the Marvel one. or the Marvel
By a lot.
proper
Yeah, by a
Quicksilver.
lot. Yeah,
And to
absolutely.
have
By a
him
lot.
to have him be the first X-Man to cross over was interesting because he's one of, if not the newest, right? As in terms of character, because I know like J Law and all them they came in at the same time, but I'm talking about Quicksilver wasn't in the original lineup of X-Men, like the original lineup. It wasn't until Days of Future Past where they go and get Quicksilver, and then somehow
Yep.
he stays. You know what I mean? He
Yep.
stays through that event. So Quicksilver is relatively new, but he had such popularity, and
Yep.
it made sense because her brother is Quicksilver. So
Yep.
Like perfect time, perfect place for Evan Peters, and I think Evan Peters is great. I think he does fantastic in American Horror Story. He's the only reason I watch it. He really is.
He is. He was good in that. I saw him in the clown one, I believe.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
amazing in
that's the
every
first time I saw
every single season. He's like the best part.
He's a good actor. He really is.
If you watch, go ahead.
Okay, Quicksilver and Fox was like, for me anyways, Gavin, X-Men Wolverine, Mutant Deadpool, that's easy.
Yeah.
But in the Fox universe, Quicksilver was so liked because one, Evan Peters is just overall charming, and he has some funny lines. And also his running scenes are shot so well that everybody was like, "Oh, I absolutely love this." Even in the bad X-Men movies, that was like a good part of the movie. His running sequences,
Yeah. So and then the whole episode had conflict. It had Wanda and Vision having conflict. It had the twins had a conflict. The people of the town are technically conflicted, right? Because they're being, now we know from the way Vision kind of like he like unpaused that one guy. We know that the townspeople are kind of being held against their will, and they know it, but they can't do anything about it. So like it's like they're possessed. They're like along for the ride, and they can see, but they don't have control, and they're just being kind of mocked around. And the fact that guy, I can't remember what his name is, someone will probably remember, that guy said he said she, so we automatically think Wanda, but a case could be made that this might be Agatha.
Wait. What scene are you referring to when you said she? I mean, you said you couldn't remember dude's name. What scene are you referring to?
When Vision unlocks that guy. The guy, he's
okay.
talking to Vision.
Yep.
Yeah, he's talking to Vision, and he says, "Yeah, of course." Where Norm says she's control, like I can't remember the exact quote, but he's like, "It's her. You got to get her out of my head, or she's controlling this." We all just naturally assume Wanda, but a strong case could be made for Agnes or Agatha.
Well, it's definitely Wanda because Monica Rambeau says the same thing, and she says, "Oh, I can feel the grief." So it's definitely Wanda. It has to be Wanda because that's kind of the whole point of all this is Wanda's grieving and she really doesn't know how to handle it.
See, I don't know about that. This show's got a lot of twists and turns. I don't know. I don't.
Just throwing you on. Yeah, and that's why I had to knock a couple of points because it is getting so incredibly meta that I'm quite confused at times, and I'm really they're really crossing some lines here that are just throwing your boy for a loop. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster.
Yeah. So that was episode 5. Episode 6. Right? That was episode 5, right? I keep asking that, but I can't remember all of a sudden. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So that was episode 5. Episode 6 is going to be the Halloween episode. And if there's 9 episodes, if there's 9 episodes total, the best episode typically in a season is the penultimate, right? So number 8 is really where things are going to freak. Like they're gonna, like the climax will start to peak, right? And that's where the penultimate is typically the episode that all the good action of the season happens, and then the finale is kind of like wrapping up loose ends and that kind of stuff. Closing plot holes, blah 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 blah. So number 8 is really what I'm looking forward to, because I think that's when we're gonna kind of get out of the whole sitcom thing, and it'll be like Wanda versus the world, right? I truly think that Wanda, we might not even see Mephisto this season, like this whole thing. We might not. I think we all have to brace for the fact that we might actually not get Mephisto. He might be more felt than seen, right? And then in a later, either if this series continues, which I really don't know because it seems like a one-off, or he'll be a villain, maybe a minor villain not a minor villain, but someone in Doctor Strange, besides Nightmare.
So that's why I made, and I don't think I said this on camera, I think there's an argument for Dormammu. Doctor Strange. So we already know Doctor Strange 2 is gonna, and WandaVision directly tied together. Dormammu was never actually dealt with. He's still very much present. He's very much capable of doing all of these things that are happening. So I think there's an argument that Mephisto is not even a part of the MCU yet.
I mean, the only thing I could say about your Dormammu theory would be that he is definitely free because the time stone was his loop was broken.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So the time stone, like, so Dormammu is definitely out there somewhere again. I just don't think that they would do that. I don't think Dormammu is the one. Dormammu! I don't think he's the one that's behind it. Dormammu, I've come to bargain. I don't think that's the story
like
that
Mephisto seems like so much to introduce, but Marvel's surprised me more than once. So
I mean, he is the devil.
Only time will tell.
But the kids are there. This is what's pointing me to Mephisto's. The kids are there, right?
True.
So when the kids are there, Mephisto's there, because that's how they're created. Sorry to tell everyone, or sorry to be so rated R about it, but Vision does not have a penis. Or if he makes a penis, if he creates one, it doesn't work the way yours or mine does. Actually, mine doesn't work. Mine is more like Vision's. Sorry. Just kidding. Yeah, just kidding. But I mean, the good thing is Vision kind of controls whatever size he has, but it doesn't work. So, sorry to break that burst that bubble for you.
In other words, they can't have babies.
They can't have real babies. So it's definitely interesting. Grim Reaper. So didn't Grim Reaper's helmet get shown, or was that someone else?
I don't know. What are you referring to?
Yeah, Vision can't impregnate someone. LOL. I mean, I figured you guys knew that, but I just wanted to make sure, right? Santa Claus is also not real. So, sorry about that.
Don't do that to me.
What? What do you mean don't do that to you?
Don't lie to me on camera. So who eats my cookies every year, huh?
That would typically be your mother, or your roommate now. Let's see. If Vision can make a cape, he can make a penis. I'll say it.
So.
I don't think the question is not that he can't make the penis. It's just the penis doesn't work the same way. And it's not a functional, it's like one of those Japanese toys, right? It doesn't work really. It's kind of the same, but it's not. Robbie Reyes. I love Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider. Honestly,
yeah.
I was gonna say that's the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. did Robbie Reyes pretty well.
Yeah.
They casted they casted perfectly on it.
They did. That was the only part of Agents of Shield I watched. I like I want to say her name's Jessica. She's the Cosmic Ghost Rider at the time. I was a big fan of that. I was a really big fan of that. I wouldn't mind seeing Cosmic Ghost Rider in the MCU.
Can you explain a little bit more? Because I don't know who that is.
Yes, Caden Santa is real. Cosmic Ghost Rider. I can't remember her name. If I can remember, there's 5 Ghost Riders. Johnny Blaze. Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank right now.
Robbie Reyes.
Besides the point, and Robbie Reyes. I was drawing a blank. I don't know the other 3, but there's one more, and she's a girl. I believe her name is Jessica something, and it's the Cosmic Ghost Rider. So just kind of a Ghost Rider in space. It was really cool. I was really a fan of that.
Dan Ketch. Ghost Rider, I know the 2 that I know. So I don't know any of these other ones.
That's where Google comes into play, because for whatever reason I can't remember her name.
Who's Dan Ketch? Well, I know Frank Castle's been, like Caden saying now. We knew that, but I'm not saying he wasn't or was he? Was he a long-term Ghost Rider? Or was that just a comic run, like a quick one? I'm pretty sure that might have been just a quick one. Like a guest Ghost Rider. Frank Castle. Let me guess, because I've never read that story. Did Frank Castle make a deal to bring his family back? Is that why he did it?
Oh no, Alejandra wasn't cosmic. Oops. I had that backwards. So the one I was referring to, her name is Alejandra, but she wasn't Cosmic Ghost Rider. She was just Ghost Rider. There's a future one too, huh?
Wait, Frank Castle is the Cosmic Ghost Rider?
I don't believe so.
I don't know. Listen, Caden doesn't steer me wrong ever.
That's true. True.
He was a Cosmic Ghost Rider. What I'm asking is, all right, did Frank become Cosmic Ghost Rider, whether it's cosmic or just regular? Did he become it? Did he become it to save his family or bring his family back?
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's the only reason he would do it.
No, Caden's 100% correct. It was Frank Castle, and because Punisher's whole thing is vengeance, became Ghost Rider.
Not to bring his family back?
No, not that.
Damn it! I feel like that would be a total Punisher thing to do. Become the Ghost Rider to bring his family back. That's awesome. Well,
either way, I want a Ghost Rider. The point I was trying to make, I want a Ghost Rider in the MCU.
Like a proper Ghost Rider.
Even though, and the good thing about Ghost Rider is, like, just because Robbie was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't mean we can't have a Ghost Rider.
Well, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't...
Ghost Rider is just more of a mantle than anything.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've even retconned where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't even... It's not even technically MCU proper anymore. Even though it directly tied to several main events and even set up Avengers Age of Ultron, where...
Did it? Wow, really?
Yes, it did. If you watched it, Coulson is the one who calls in the... he's the one who... Was it? Yeah, it was Age of Ultron, I believe. He's the one who calls in the Avengers. He says that he's like, oh, this is an Avengers level threat. Bang! Makes a call to S.H.I.E.L.D. to get them in on it. And that's how it leads right in. I mean, it wasn't there was no crossover, but I thought it was a cool way to, like, if you watched the show, it was a cool tie-in. But if you didn't watch the show, it wouldn't necessarily ruin anything for you. Because you know how the beginning of Age of Ultron starts with the Avengers raiding the facility?
Yeah.
The Strucker facility?
Yeah.
So
okay.
The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are the ones who call them in to get there, right? So it
Okay.
was kind of a cool little tie-in. But again,
Okay.
you didn't need it. You didn't need it to see Age of Ultron. But if you did watch Agents of Shield, it was cool, right? So I forget.
That's excellent. That's excellent tie-in, if you ask me, because it, like you said, it's not necessary to understand Age of Ultron. But if you do watch Agents of the Shield, hey, here's a little shout out to you. We recognize you for watching the show.
Yeah,
You know what I
honestly,
mean?
I thought
I
it was
dig
like a
that.
huge badass moment, and they've done
Yes,
other
I dig it.
crossovers. Like for instance, they like cleaned up after. This sounds so stupid, but they cleaned up after Thor: The Dark World. You know how like
Yeah.
the ship comes in, and to Washington D.C. and like the Dark Elf
Oh
ship
yeah.
kind of breaks
Yeah.
apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they were like cleaning up after that. So that was the tie into that. Um, they did a really cool tie-in for Winter Soldier. So the Agents of Shield figured out that Hydra had infiltrated Shield like months before, not months maybe, but weeks before Winter Soldier came out, or they had suspicions, and then the episode before Winter Soldier came out, they dropped that bomb. So it was kind of the same thing where they led right into it. And like
Okay.
Agents of Shield doesn't get a good rap for being like, all right, the special effects weren't great. The Coulson storyline was a little bit shitty after a while because at first when Coulson was alive, you were like, oh, I'm kind of interested to see how they're gonna do this. But then they kept changing and killing him, and then he was a robot. Like, it got to a point where it was just like, all right, bro, I'm over the whole Coulson thing. Like, I really am.
Yeah.
But Agents of Shield doesn't get a good rap because it was the TV show that they originally wanted to tie in to the MCU, but it never worked. It never worked.
Okay.
It just all of a sudden. So the MCU, like I remember Marvel when Agents of Shield first came out, or before it first came out, they were like, okay, this is a part of the MCU. After the first or second season, they were like, no, our TV division is separate. So like they took it away, right? And after that, you kind of just like, after that, it just didn't have the same weight. But they kept tying it in, and they kept. So I don't know. It's interesting. It really is.
It was a nice try. I think this is something that definitely could have worked now. Maybe do something with put it on the Disney Plus, maybe tie it into Falcon and Winter Soldier, something of that sort. Maybe it could have worked more in present day, but at the time it definitely wasn't we weren't ready for such a thing, you know?
Yeah. So Lennon Poole asked that. He was a little late, I believe, because so we actually just talked about the WandaVision, the WandaVision cameo.
That's right.
So I guess we can go backwards a little bit. We didn't really like do as much talking about it as we can. So do you think this is 100% the Fox X-Men Quicksilver being brought in and recasted, like not recasted, but like as far as the show goes, like the WandaVision story, I'm saying recasted, like how she recast things. Do you think that's what's happening here? Like the twins maybe brought the wrong Quicksilver back, or Silverback? Get it? Like Kong. Do you think?
I can't remember.
What I'm saying is, do you think it is 100% some form of the Fox X-Men Quicksilver, or do you think we're just getting teased like we did in Far From Home with Mysterio?
So
I'd like to hear what everyone thinks in the comments as well.
Yes, please. So I can't remember who said it, but somebody said now, and this basically ties into what you said to me as well earlier. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump on your boat. And somebody else said in the comments, and I can't remember who, but they had said that I think what they're aiming for is they're trying to keep, and you said the same thing, they're trying to keep the well-liked Fox X-Men and dump the rest. So that would be Professor X, Magneto, and Quicksilver for the most part. That's the ones that most of us like. I'm not the biggest fan of James Beast as well, but I don't think he's coming with them. Well, actually, you know what? If James McAvoy's Professor X comes, there's a solid chance Beast comes too, because I do like his Beast. So I think our big cameo at the end, again, I'm stealing your theory. I'm jumping on your boat. I think our cameo at the end with Evan Peters, Quicksilver now being introduced, I think our big cameo will be the combination of Doctor Strange, Magneto, and Professor X, Michael Fassbender, and James McAvoy.
Yeah, so my theory is this, and my theory is based on it. My theory only works if this is actually Quicksilver, right, from the Fox universe. If it's like Mephisto playing tricks with us, like that doesn't work, right? That doesn't work. But now let's go on the assumption that this is in fact Evan Peters in some form, whether it be this or that. This is actually Quicksilver from the Fox universe and being recast in Wanda's mind as her brother, right? Dan, you got to think that if Quicksilver if we're in the Fox universe right now, and Quicksilver disappears, all of a sudden, Charles Xavier is tied to every single mutant on the Earth. He also is in the same building as Quicksilver typically, right? Because they're the X-Men now. He's going to notice that his boy is gone, right? And he's going to start asking questions on why Quicksilver's gone. Where did he go? Blah, 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 and so on and so forth. Now, Magneto, I don't know how he's going to come into the fold, but maybe he's just going to get a little bit defensive because he knows that it's his kid, but no one else knows yet because they never actually confirmed that. It was in passing as a nod. But maybe Magneto knows, like, all right, that is actually my kid. I probably should go help. I haven't paid child support, so maybe I should go help find him.
Well, I mean, Magneto's one of those, maybe mutants have freedoms here. Maybe mutants can live in peace in this Earth. So I'm going to go there,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. He could be exploring another Earth. Yes. That's a good idea, actually. Exactly. That is a good idea.
I'm hoping that, and I'm kind of guessing now that this is going to be all multiverse and it's going to be exactly like you guys said earlier, that they will be keeping the good Fox X-Men and dumping the rest, right? And use multiverse and call Fox's X-Men Earth 309, which would be Fox in numbers, which would be cool to see. And I think that would be the case, and call it multiverse.
Yeah, so my theory's not done yet. So on the other side, you might say, okay, well, if Professor X is looking, that doesn't mean he's going to be able to find him because he's not on that Earth. Right.
Correct.
But what does Doctor Strange do for our Earth? If now calling our Earth our Avengers Earth, right? That's our Earth because that's ours. Yes. Doctor Strange handles threats that affect reality. He handles threats that are mystic. This very much falls into his category. And we know that Sword, Darcy, and Jimmy Woo all know really a lot about they're very aware of the Avengers and their powers and what they do, right? So they're gonna be like, well, who can we call for help? Oh, yeah, there's that wizard guy who brought everyone back during the blip, right? And let's call him. He's gonna show up at Sword, start watching the show, and they're gonna be like, yeah, this guy randomly showed up out of nowhere and she thinks it's her brother. Strange is going to be like, yeah, I did sense something was wrong in the multiverse or something happened. And then he's going to go looking for an answer. So Charles and Doctor Strange are going to end up meeting, and then he's going to pull them into our universe because he's going to figure out that Charles Xavier is on OP level of that psychic shit. Yep. And there we go. House of M, right? So Charles breaks Wanda.
So Doctor Strange could Doctor Strange comes in, right? Because he's like you said, he's the only one who can kind of handle this. This is his expertise. This is his jurisdiction. He comes in, he runs into Evan Peters, Quicksilver, and the same way the Ancient One in Endgame knew about all timelines, Doctor Strange could very much already be aware of the X-Men in an alternate multiverse, right? He could already be well aware of this. Again, the same way the Ancient One knew about all different types of timelines, Doctor Strange could know all about different types of multiverse. He already knows it exists because that's what comes with it. He's Sorcerer Supreme, right? So he could very well already know about all of this. And he knows that you need Professor X. And he, like you said, he goes and he gets him, and Professor X is really the only one who can kind of get into Wanda's head and kind of stop all of this.
The only issue with Tobey Maguire is that he plays no, there's nothing that he could do. There's nothing.
There's no purpose Tobey would serve. None.
Like, yes, that would be a wonderful cameo, and I think everyone would love it. But afterwards, they'd be like, well, what the fuck was that?
I see that immediately getting memed. Immediately. The second he shows up, he's getting memed to fuck, and the show will be looked at as a goofball, a corny ass show. It would ruin WandaVision. Absolutely, 100%, not a doubt in my mind.
You think Tobey Maguire would ruin WandaVision?
He would get memed immediately. Immediately would get memed. Immediately, and it would turn the show into a joke. Absolutely.
Listen, Tobey, right? Like, don't get me wrong. It'd be a sick cameo, right? I don't think it has a place in the story. I don't.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what makes it not a sick cameo, because he doesn't have a sick at all. It doesn't fit, and not even kind of. So the best cameo I can think of is yours. Now, and in all actuality, the cameo could just be Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange only. There is no necessarily, the only reason we're jumping to these kind of conclusions is because we saw Evan Peters, but it could be him. You got to think, right? If Evan Peters came in and then you also give us Professor X and Magneto, that's moving this mutant train to going from 20 miles per hour to 80, right? They're really pushing the gas down on this whole introducing mutant things. And I'm pretty sure Marvel is going to take their time with introducing mutants. So there's a solid chance that Professor X, that cameo is just Doctor Strange and Doctor Strange only.
I don't know. I don't. Because that's not. They literally said
it's possible.
No, it's not. I don't think it is, because they said a Luke Skywalker level cameo. Doctor Strange is nowhere near that. Nowhere near that, and neither is Evan Peters.
Neither is Professor X. Not James McAvoy.
Yes, he is. Yeah, but you got. They're the same character, man. They're the same character.
Yeah.
So just because it's James McAvoy doesn't mean that's like the younger version. I don't know how James McAvoy turns into Patrick Stewart, but like with age, apparently you just change body structures.
Even then, Luke is Star Wars, the original trilogy. Anyways, we was talking about this before we went on camera earlier today. Marvel doesn't really have a Luke Skywalker level cameo. There's two that fall under that category, and they kind of come into a two package. That's Captain America and Iron Man, and I don't see that happening. Those two are the only ones that fall, if you ask me anyways, on the Marvel side of things, fall under a Luke Skywalker level cameo.
Yeah. So I honestly, like, it is a good question. But that's a good, and that's the good thing. That's what a good show does. You have so much to talk about that it's not funny.
I know.
Right, and
I'm sure there's things we're missing.
On like some sort of level, it's frustrating because you're like, well, what the fuck? Bro, I just want to know. Yeah, and like I was saying to you during the podcast, like you got to think like if you want your show to be that water cooler show like Game of Thrones was, where everybody and their mother watches it, and then on Mondays everyone meets up at work and they're like, bro, did you see that? Did you see this?
You saw WandaVision?
Yeah.
I love it.
Like, and that's the thing is, right? That whole release one episode at a time deal is the only way that happens. If you do the Netflix way and you release it all at once, that water cooler talk happens once, right? Yeah. Oh, you saw that whole thing? You saw how that ended? Right? You don't talk about how it began, you talk about how it ended, right? So you skip right to the ending, you have that conversation once, and then, maybe you reference it in the future. But I do have a feeling that we're with Disney Plus and how they're releasing things, I think we're going to go right back. Maybe even Netflix jumps on the board. I think we're going right back to weekly episodes, no more all at once. I really do.
You know what I would like to see? You keep the X-Men on Disney Plus, right? Give them their own series, their own continuously running series on Disney Plus. Keep the Avengers in the movie side of things, and then we have our occasional crossovers. I would like that.
That's different.
Yeah, I would like it.
That's different.
That keeps Disney Plus fresh and in the front burner, so they have consistent, good content and fresh content coming. And that also separates our X-Men and Avengers. So when crossover events do happen, they have more magnitude. They have more more girth to them,
Yeah, and to Nikki's point here, we already knew that Evan Peters had been cast, so this is not the cameo either. So we already knew that Evan Peters was going to be in this role. Well, we didn't know that he was going to be in. We didn't know he was going to be Quicksilver. Everyone had but that news broke a while ago. Because that's the world we live in.
He doesn't fit.
I wouldn't say that. It's not that he doesn't fit, because Nikki does make a good point. The fact the cameo, maybe the character doesn't fit, but the tie-in itself to the X-Men, right? That the X-Men are that whole thing would that would make sense. He does. He's got that for that point of it, that part of it. But we did know that Evan Peters was going to be in the show at some point. People were actually casting him as Mephisto early on, right? They were thinking that he might be playing Mephisto because of the success in American Horror Story. He was such a good bad person. He really is. He really is. And like American Horror Story Cult is probably one of the best seasons of television I've ever watched in my life.
That's the one I saw.
Cult is hands down the
Cult, not
awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
that's a show
let's see what
been on. I would like to start watching.
Bryan Cranston. But who could Bryan Cranston be playing? Who would Bryan Cranston play?
Paul Bettany secret actor. What does that mean?
Paul Bettany. Paul Bettany said that the person that's cameoing this season, Paul has said that he always wanted to work with this person.
Well, now doesn't that correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't Doctor Strange fall under that, because Vision was already dead? And they never crossed paths in Infinity War. Doctor Strange was on another planet the entire time.
But that doesn't mean they haven't worked together yet, right? They've been on set together at least once or twice.
True. I feel like Doctor Strange falls under that category.
Well,
what Paul's referring to.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure they've worked together. In that. So we could discuss that all day. But who do you think Bryan Cranston could play in the MCU proper? What would be a good fit for Bryan Cranston besides Professor X? Because he would be a good Professor X if you go with the if you shaved his mustache and shaved his beard and shaved his head. Do you think Deadpool will joke about Josh Brolin being Thanos in Deadpool? Yes, 100%. He already joked about Josh Brolin being Thanos. He's definitely doing it again. That's for sure.
Mm.
I hope if James and Michael show up, they look like Jonathan Hickman's versions of those characters. Yeah, like true comic form instead of the Fox versions that we got. Because really, though, the Days of Future Past comic, like the Days of Future Past Magneto suit was good, but I would really like to see them really hone it in on the looks, right? Kind of, yeah, we might be taking the Fox universe and merging it, but that doesn't mean that they can't get the better uniforms and better looks, right? We can't tweak a couple things.
Of course. And somebody had pointed out before that Dark Phoenix took place in the 90s. So if it is in fact James McAvoy and Fassbender that show up, we're talking 30 years, 30 years in the future. So they are going to very much look different. And there comes your design and costume change that you guys are looking for, that I'm also looking for.
Right. But see, you could debunk that with it's the multiverse, so you could pluck them out at any time period.
True.
Right? If we're not on we might be on a linear time kind of deal, and well, like right now is like, who knows how the multiverse works in the MCU, right? Like right now could be 2025, because technically, what are we in? So if in Infinity War, if Endgame took place 5 years after Infinity War, and Infinity War was in the same year it was out, that was 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So 2024 for us could be 1990 for the Fox X-Men. And that's right. That's on the same line. That's where we're just at. That's where we're at in the time period, right? But I guess that
it said 23. Infinity War came in 2018, correct?
I don't know. I was just doing math and shit. Oh yeah, because yeah. I said 2019 because Endgame, but what I meant was 18. So yeah, 2023, not 2024. Sorry.
And WandaVision is taking place after Endgame, right? Before
clearly
Far From Home. Before Far From Home.
No, because the blip. The blip.
Oh, yeah.
The blip placed it.
Everybody comes back in Far From Home. Yeah.
So everybody comes back in Far From Home. So this takes place after Far From Home as well.
Okay. All right. So it is the latest in our life.
It's the latest in the timeline. Yes.
Okay. Yep.
So, but my point here being that they don't have to pull from the exact spot that we're at. They could pull from 30 years in the past.
They can pull from wherever they want.
Right, it's the multiverse. If we're already fucking with the multiverse, we don't have to fuck. Like, we could do whatever we want and explain it some way, So, all right, where am I at for comments?
Okay, all right,
Oh, Jesus, you guys
always on point with this shit.
Speaking of good shows, guys, I have a funny story about Walking Dead that I already told Justice.
Walking Dead's about.
All right, let me get this scumbag's name up.
Is this show ever gonna fucking end?
No. All right, so Christopher Cook, who is in Walking Dead. By the way, no one even remembers that he's in Walking Dead. Let me just throw that out there. I've lost respect for him a little bit because I was like, hey, any way you could, join us on the podcast? And he just said, I'll pass. And I was like, okay, dickhead. Like, fuck you then. Like, seriously, fuck. Like, I didn't even. The only reason I invited you on is because I IMDb'd you and I saw that you were in Walking Dead for a couple episodes. So cool. I didn't want to talk to you anyway. Screw. I hope you have no work right now.
Probably doesn't. Nobody has any work.
Can you imagine? Sorry, I just needed to rant right there. Like, listen, I'm working with Ray Porter. He's in Zack Snyder's Justice League. I don't need you, Chris Cook. Can you imagine if in the end Charles Logan and Magneto show up, Magneto just wiping the floor with the sword agents and etc. Logan just vaulting it. Imagine Logan was in. Okay, that's another one. Imagine Wolvie shows up.
Oh my god.
Wolvie and Patrick Stewart.
Oh man. Don't play with my heart. Oh no. I forgot. Ian McKellen passed away. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the next one?
I was gonna say that would be a fucking dream come true. Hugh Jackman.
Paul has
Sir
worked
Patrick
together
Stewart,
with
Ian McKellen.
Fassbender. Paul has worked with Ben too. Oh, I just played the same one.
Oh.
Damn it! Since Disney owns Star Wars, maybe the Luke's.
He just shows up in WandaVision.
Cranston could play Mephisto or Nightmare. Right, Cranston could play Mephisto actually, because it's a total character that you could like. Cranston could be doing the voice for it and the mocap.
So Cranston's one of those
Ooh.
guys that he's
Mr.
really
Sinister is awesome.
He isn't dead. Oh, I thought Ian McKellen passed away. I guess not. I guess I was wrong. Thank you, Kaden.
All right. Hey, listen, because your microphone, your microphone is like cutting in and out a little bit. So I didn't hear who you said. Who did you just say?
What?
When you said someone who passed away, who were you talking about?
I thought Ian McKellen passed away. Magneto.
Oh, okay, because I couldn't hear who you said. So when Caden just said Ian isn't dead, I was like, yeah, I know.
I thought he passed away.
No.
I thought he passed away. I thought I heard that like a year ago or something. Well, that's good news. That's good news. So yeah, if the three of them show up,
dude, if Sir Ian McKellen passed away, like, come on, we'd know about that, and it would be huge news for like a while.
But I was recalling was at least a year ago minimum.
Oh yeah, well he's not dead.
Good.
I would like to see characters like Gambit. I know, man. I'm still Leninpool. I'm still waiting for what's his name's Gambit.
Oh my god.
What's his name? Chad. No, not Chad. Mike.
He's definitely a Chad. He definitely counts.
Channing Tatum. Channing Tatum, not Chad Tatum. I'm still waiting for Channing Tatum's Gambit.
I know, and I think he fits the character well.
Yeah.
You know, when he plays the cowboy in Kingsman. I think that right there shows that he can very much play Gambit. Yeah, kind of.
I liked how his character was like secretly a drug addict, or like or something like that, or alcoholic or something. WandaVision takes place a week after Endgame. Yeah, because it's actually 9 days. So, it's 9 days because they said 9 days.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, so 9 days after. Far From Home takes. Yep. Wait, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense.
Why?
Because it doesn't make
sense. If Endgame's in 2023, that following because
it doesn't make sense.
Far From
Home had the blip in it.
Yeah, but I think Far From Home skipped ahead. Before they go on vacation, a couple of months skipped ahead.
Okay, so Far From Home, when does Far From Home? So it takes place after WandaVision? That doesn't make sense to me.
So if I'm lining it up correctly, right? Endgame takes place in 2023, right? They everything happens, everybody comes back. That's the beginning of Far From Home, right? Where everybody returning, Peter comes home, couple of months go by, everything.
I know, I just don't like how they're skipping ahead like that. And they used to do it where if the movie was in 2018, the timeline was 2018. Now there's so many jumps and skips. Like it's come on.
Because of Endgame, 5 years ahead.
And then COVID didn't help. Oh, you know what? I mean, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was actually supposed to take place before WandaVision in Disney Plus release dates. So I'm confused. So this is a story that was maybe backtracking a little bit. I just don't. I feel like I liked it better when all the timelines were matched up to ours.
Yeah, because it makes it a lot easier. That's you can thank Endgame for that one though, because Endgame's the first time we did have like a time jump.
Yeah, we talked about this on the podcast today. That you cannot. That's not confirmed. That wasn't confirmed, but you could definitely say that he might have been spotted on Spider-Man's set. That's definitely a possibility. We just don't like to confirm anything until it's, until I see Tom Holland and William Dafoe like in a picture together on the set. Then I'll say confirmed. But for now, we're gonna go with William Dafoe was potentially spotted on site to with on the Spider-Man 3 set, which is really cool.
Quoting Tom Holland, Spider-Man 3 is the most ambitious standalone superhero movie ever made. So, I mean, whether all these rumors are true or not, we know this much for a fact. This third Spider-Man installment is going to be a hell of a ride, and they're going to be throwing a lot at us, and I don't see us not having a great time watching this movie. I think that much we can assume.
Oh, yeah. So it's 12:30. You want to wrap it up?
Sure.
All right.
Black Label. We can't. I swear to God, we can't do a fucking live stream without it going minimum hour and some change. Like a feature-length movie every time we get on these fucking computers.
Yeah, that's just what it is, man.
I know.
This is just getting this.
Go through walks. We were talking. I brought that up earlier on the podcast. He's gotten a lot better about not spoiling shit. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, he's growing up. Our little Tom Holland isn't spoiling everything anymore. So yeah, guys, listen. Make sure whatever platform you're on. It looks like everyone's on YouTube tonight. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're always hanging out. We're always talking, and we're always just doing random things and trying to have a good time. And
that's great. And I love that you guys are getting in the comments. We've been saying this shit from the jump. We want to hear from you. We want to talk to you. We love this. And this is why we've been doing more live streams lately, because we can directly talk to you as you go into the comments, as you guys have seen throughout this. So keep it coming, guys. We fucking love having you around. Caden, Ill Life, Ridley, Let Him Pull. I've seen you guys around a couple of times now. Gavin, I've seen you a couple of times too. Thank you so much for coming around, guys. We genuinely appreciate you. We genuinely like talking to you. So please keep it coming. Yeah.
And just a quick housekeeping thing. So like I said, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you ring the notification bell. Also, if you don't mind helping out my little puppy get his surgery, the link is in the description. It's tough for me right now financially, and the surgery is going to probably run me a total, with everything included, $7,000, which I don't have, unfortunately. So if you can help me out and share the link, or if you can help out and donate, or if you already donated, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. And, warms my heart like the Grinch, right? It went from really, really, really small to really, 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 really big. And I really
3 times the size that day.
Yeah, it really truly did, because I was heartbroken, and all you guys helped mend my heart, truly. Also, our store is open. Our store is open. The merch store is open. You can use code POP920 for 15% at checkout. Get your Pop Culture Corner themed merchandise. We got TY's TV Corner merch. We got Anime Anarchy merch. We're gonna be rolling out some other stuff.
Yeah,
maybe with
right after we finish this, I'll hop on Teespring, start making up some stuff, guys. So you keep your eyes open. We're always making new stuff for you.
Yep. So, as always, like you said, we do it for you. We do it for the culture. But truly, today is a good day to be a part of this, because I feel the love. I feel the love. And definitely
make your dreams come true. Just do it.
You heard him. You heard him. Just do it. Make your dreams come true, man. Make your dreams come true.
Sorry.
All right, guys. By the way,
Oh my
we are
God. You
sponsored
suck at endings.
tonight. What? No, I'm great at endings. I just have to get through everything. I really do. I have to get through
So
everything
much.
now. There's so much to get through. We are sponsored by BONKS Bar. BONKS Bar in Philadelphia. Head over, check it out, get some seafood, get some beer, get some wine, get some wings. Look at these wings. Delicious. They look
Look at
delicious.
those wings.
Look how
wings.
delicious those look. Look at
Look at
this
those wings.
nice little look at that establishment. What an
It looks
establishment.
classy. It looks, you see
That's
that man
clean.
with the mustache? That's a hell of a mustache. You only see a mustache like
Yep.
that in an establishment like BONKS Bar. You go check that bad boy out.
Yep. And thank you to our exclusive patrons. There's 2 that aren't on there because they don't want me to say their names. I don't know why. They're a little bit older, so I don't think they understand what I'm doing here.
Anonymity.
But Kate, shout out to Caden and Nick DePalma, who is Ridley. Thank you guys so much for paying us to do this because that's really
That's
cool
right.
of you. You guys are helping us out, and you're helping us out so much. And you guys get 10% off for the whole time that you're patrons, you get 10% off. However, they can't be combined. So while the first month is running, just use that regular Pop 920 if you do want something, and you'll get 15% instead of 10%. And do it that way because we can't. There's no way to make it combined. Plus, if I gave you 25%, that'd be too much. We still need that money. We still need that money. All righty, Justice. Say bye-bye.
Bye.
Say bye-bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
One sec. Is it awkward yet? I was waiting for it to get awkward.